Another thing that is obviously important for investors to know is that Johnson & Johnson, like AstraZeneca, has already agreed not to profit during the pandemic from this vaccine. Um, so let's talk a little bit about when it could profit. Obviously, in the US, cases and deaths have decreased. A good 6%, maybe a little more of the US population is vaccinated fully. Adria, when do you think we could move into a period when the pandemic is quote unquote over and these companies could raise their prices to the point at which they can start profiting?
Well, if we go by Dr. Fauci, he said that, the U.S. may reach normality by the end of the year, some sense of normality by the end of the year. So we could think of that and say, well, maybe by at some point next year, maybe mid-year, we could see an end to the pandemic, things really slowing down. So I would think at the earliest, the idea of raising prices could come perhaps next year. Now, the only thing with that is I think by then we'll have the first round of a vaccine will have gone out. So we can't expect immediately governments to be ordering tons and tons of doses. So it might be more long-term, and we have to think of real, profit for these companies. But I think in the long term, it could be interesting because if it is every couple of years, and as a long-term investor, we're looking at the revenue source years out. So I think this is something more to keep in mind for the long term for these companies.